At the turn of the millennium, there were signs. Was there something out there? A higher intelligence? A mysterious force at work? Beyond words? Beyond comprehension? Beyond. What will the new millennium bring? In theory, a shadowy construct fathomed by scientists at their wits' end over the quest for the answer to everything. Beyond time, beyond space, beyond gravity, beyond dimensions we understand. A natural force simply known as Millennium Force. Somewhere, racing along the edge of the time-space continuum in the universe as we know it. It's out there. Millennium Force. The future is riding on it.
What you just saw was promotional footage for Cedar Point's biggest and baddest next coaster, which, by the way, just set a new definition for what a roller coaster should be. Say hello to Cedar Point's new toy for the 2000 season, a one-of-a-kind coaster that's never been attempted before. The name that Cedar Point would give this monstrous coaster is Millennium Force, which had to be a play on words since it was the turn of a millennium. In a time that coasters that were over 200 feet were all the rage, Cedar Point just blew it out of the water with Millennium Force, which stood 310 feet. Cedar Point has just entered another category of roller coaster, which they named the Giga Coaster. If you don't know the definition of a Giga Coaster is a coaster that sits between 300 and 399 feet tall. This was the first coaster to ever achieve something like this, and very quickly got the media's attention. Dropping you 300 feet and at a speed of 93 miles per hour, Millennium Force was a force to be reckoned with. Breaking 10 world records, this was the king of roller coasters. But Millennium Force would never be the way it is today without another coaster. In fact, it's located in the same park.
Cedar Point in Sandusky, but today, Allison, courageous as she is, got a sneak preview and a ride, and you were anxious to do it.
Yeah, I was, but it was sort of like following the lemmings into the sea. Everybody else did it, so it was easy for me to do it. It's called Magnum XL 200. It's a mile's worth of twisting and turning track that at one point reaches 201 feet into the air. That's higher than the Statue of Liberty and the nose of the space shuttle just before it's about to lift off. Hold on to your hats. We're about to take a ride.
11 years prior to Millennium Force, Cedar Point debuted Magnum XL 200, the first full-circuit roller coaster to reach a height of 200 feet. But what Cedar Point didn't know is that they started a war. Other parks around the world saw what Cedar Point did and tried to one-up them. Each and every year, new coasters would be announced that were just slightly taller or faster or longer than the previous ones. This phenomenon was called the Coaster Wars. Cedar Point started it in 1989, and 11 years later, they had the successor to Magnum XL 200.
Beyond gravity, beyond velocity, gravity knows no force, like Millennium Force. Tallest, fastest, greatest coaster ever. Go full force, Cedar Point.
When Millennium Force opened, it sure did bring in the crowds. Also, when Millennium Force opened, instead of using a traditional lift hill with a chain, it decided to use a lift hill with a cable. After dispatching the station, you were quickly pulled up to the top of the new cable system that has never been done before on a roller coaster. Here you could see epic views of the park, and on the left you can see Lake Erie. After crossing over the top, you hurtle down a 300-foot drop and up the speeds up to 93 miles per hour. After this, you fly through an overbanked turn, which I think provides good forces. After that, you bank left and enter a tunnel, which for half a second provides a moment of pitch black darkness. After that, you glide into a giant camelback, which I think delivers a decent floater. Now let's keep in mind, Millennium Force wasn't designed to pull huge forces in epic airtime moments. Its main talent is to show off the speed the ride can provide, and that is what Millennium Force does very well. Once again, you fly into another overbank turn, which acts as the ride's turnaround element. After Millennium Force shows off its speed, you fly into another airtime hill which provides great ejector, which provides through the whole airtime hill. After that, you fly into another pitch black tunnel, which is where you get your picture on the ride. After that, Millennium Force flies by the station and queue, taunting riders in line. The final element is one more overbank turn until the ride glides into its final brake run. Overall, Millennium Force is a fantastic addition to Cedar Point and is worth waiting in that long line to get your ride. Millennium Force is one amazing coaster, with the history it provides, the amazing park it's at, and the fact this is one of the most famous coasters on Earth. Millennium Force is the full package, and you should get out to Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio to take a spin on Millennium Force.